Welcome back to the Yamanote Express. Today we've got something seriously exciting to unpack. The brand new Hellblade II trailer. We're going to attempt to break down, analyze, and explain the Hellblade II trailer that released at the 2023 Game Awards. This trailer is the fourth trailer that we have seen for Hellblade 2, and is in my opinion, the best one yet, as the previous ones weren't very detailed at all and failed to show anything interesting. Prepare yourselves as we decode every symbol, every frame, unearth the buried lore, and dissect the tantalizing glimpses of gameplay within the trailer footage. We'll discuss changes to gameplay from Hellblade 1, the visual fidelity improvements, and the insanely improved animations. Join me as we dissect, speculate, and maybe even unravel a few mysteries about what's coming in Hellblade 2. It's going to be an adventure, so grab your snacks and let's get right into it.
I've dreamt of this. This place of fear and fury. Do you hear it?
So the trailer starts with Senua uttering the words, "I've dreamt of this place of fear and fury. Do you hear it?" So I've searched far and wide to see how this quote can relate to Norse mythology, as that's what Hellblade takes place in, but I was hard pressed to find anything. But one thing that I did find is that the Norse took dreams quite seriously. While some dreams were seen as random and meaningless, others were held to possess enormous significance. Dreams could sometimes foretell the future. So is Senua here dreaming about something that she sees in the future? Could she be seeing herself in a place of fear and fury? Well, I guess we'll have to play the game to find out, because I could not find anything for the life of me that would explain this quote, but this is my best guess. Besides what she said, we can see Senua on the shoreline. This is something I caught while watching the trailer. It's very similar to the previous trailer where we also saw the shoreline. And I'm thinking that this is the same location and it's probably somewhere in the start of the game. And it seems kind of like a village where Senua's tribe may be positioned. And it seemed kind of similar, so I'm assuming it's the same location that we might start the game from. And I think the shot from the more recent trailer might be a continuation of the shot from the previous trailer, because this giant that is in this trailer seems to destroy everything in the village, and Senua might be the only one left. Now, before we spend too much time on the first bit of the trailer, let's go on to the second part.
The heartbeat of the lost ones. I can feel them on my skin.
Now that bit of the trailer shows a lot of Senua just walking around, and it shows a little bit of the setting of the game, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, the graphics in this game are absolutely nuts. Senua also says, "The heartbeat of the lost ones, I can feel them on my skin." And I think this is a clear reference to the story of the first game, where the Northmen raided her village and murdered her lover. They also murdered the rest of her village. So in this case, it's quite clear that this is who she's talking about, the people that have been lost from the raided village, and maybe even the attack by the giant that we saw in the previous trailer.
Each death, inked in blood. I won't stop fighting for them. Until the very last beat fades away.
I think this part of the trailer is very interesting and provides us some hints on what the story of Hellblade 2 might be. Senua says, "Each death inked in blood, and I won't stop fighting for them until every last beat fades away." I think this quote is a direct reference to the first game. In the first game, if you collect all the rune stones, you get an interesting dialogue between a character named Ruth and Senua. In this dialogue, Ruth kind of tries to change Senua's mind to seek revenge against the man that ratted out her village to the Northmen. The Northmen then raided her village and killed all the villagers. And I think this might be a hint that this story might be a little bit of a revenge tale. But my speculation is that this story will begin as a revenge tale and end up being something more meaningful, as Ninja Theory always like to do. There probably won't be a winner or a loser, and I think this story will have a very deep meaning. But that's just my speculation, so if you have a different idea of what that might mean, please leave a comment below and let me know. In that portion of the trailer, we finally got a look at the combat that we've been waiting for Hellblade 2. And I think this combat looks vastly improved from the first game. You can really tell that Ninja Theory put in some time and effort into refining combat. Senua has multiple weapons. You can see her pull out an axe and hit the guy in the head. You can see her take her sword and slice upwards. You can see her use the sword to parry. And then you can even see a companion that jumps in to help her. So I think there's a lot of improvement done to the combat, and for the good. That was one of the complaints we had with the first game, and now it's been improved even more, which is something really good to see. Another thing that I noticed from that combat clip is that there seems to be more than one type of enemy. In the first game, there was only like one type of enemy that you could fight aside from the bosses, but in that clip alone, I counted like 3 different types of enemies, which is really cool. Now we'll take a look at the next part of the trailer.
You want the truth? All the lives inside me tell me to let go. The shadow will always hang over me.
In this portion of the trailer, we see more gameplay clips of Senua walking around, along with a bunch of cool cuts of Senua screaming. And I gotta say, the acting in this game looks supremely good. But there are 2 frames in this portion of the trailer that are very interesting. We see a new character, and we also see something that looks like a villain. It's hard to say whether it is actually a villain, because I know it's mostly speculation on my part, but the way the camera panned over him, it kind of does look like a villain. And I know in Hellblade 1 we didn't really have one specific villain, but it kind of looks like that this shadow character, whatever we saw with the camera panning over him, kind of resembles a villain. Like, he kind of looks demeaning almost. Anyway, that's just a lot of speculation, so let's move on to the next part of the trailer. Now this is the last portion of the trailer, and it's fucking intense. I absolutely love this part of the trailer. It just cuts between combat and gameplay, and does a really good job to build hype with the music and everything going on. And you can really see the detail that Ninja Theory has been putting into the combat. And you can see all the moves that Senua can do. There's fire-breathing enemies that she was ducking down and hitting. And you can even see parrying in this game. I think parrying was in the first game, but it wasn't that good, but you can see the parrying is really effective in this game, and it looks really good. And overall, there's one portion in the trailer where you can see Senua kind of hiding and crawling behind enemies, and that kind of makes me think it's stealth, but this portion of the trailer kind of looks like it's a set piece, where she might be like crawling on the side of a ledge like you often do in these type of linear games. But overall, I think this trailer was a really good example of what Hellblade 2 is going to be and what it can be. And I think my previous statement of this game being an absolute groundbreaking game that we have not seen before might be true. And honestly, I had a lot of pushback on that on my previous video, but I think that you guys might be wrong. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, there's always room for me to be wrong, and it's a very big possibility that I am wrong. Overall, that was a really good trailer that showed a lot of things in Hellblade 2. And I know the previous trailers didn't show much, so seeing this much information was really great to see. But I still think that there's a lot of things to show from Hellblade 2. And I think there might be another Xbox Direct or something coming out in the beginning of the year where we might see more detailed information about Hellblade 2. And the worst part was that we still didn't get a release date aside from 2024. And I think Xbox really needs to hunker down and give us a release date, because this game has been shown off 4 times in the last 4 years. And we still don't have a release date. That's kind of odd. And I really hope it's in the beginning of the year, because the end of the year might be a little busy. But overall, the trailer was great. I mean, in comparison to the previous ones, of course. But obviously, there's always room for improvement, and I hope to see more about Hellblade 2 in the future. And as always, welcome to the Yamanote Express, and thank you for watching. If you do like my videos, please leave a like and subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. I've seen a lot of love in the previous videos, and it was truly amazing to see these views go up and the subscribers go up. And I know I've only had 10 videos, but I'd love to make more, so thank you for supporting me.